Right, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. I want to talk about the Atari VCS, and I want to say, like, who is the Atari VCS for, and who is it isn't for? I mean, okay, so who would want it, and who wouldn't want the Atari VCS, right? So the Atari VCS, I believe, is catered towards retro gamers. Gamers like myself that grew up with Atari when we were kids in the 70s and the 80s. That's what it's catered to, and it's focused around that, you know what I mean? So if you're one of these people like myself, then it's for you, you know what I'm saying? If you have nostalgia for Atari, their games and stuff like this, the Atari VCS is for you. Retro gaming is what it's geared towards, and that's why I love it. You know, but it's not just Atari games you can play on the Atari VCS. You can play Sega Mega Drive games, Super Nintendo games, NES games, any system you can think of. You know what I mean? And if you choose to upgrade the Atari VCS with the RAM and storage and put Windows 10 on it, you can play even more retro games like Sega Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii U, Xbox games, PS3 games, anything. You know, so retro gaming is what it's geared towards. So that's who it's for, and so that's in a nutshell. Like, if you like retro games, if you have nostalgia for Atari and retro gaming, then that's what the Atari VCS is for. You know, if it's also it's a mini PC, the Atari VCS, so it's geared towards people that never had a PC of any sort, or a mini PC, like myself, because I've never had a PC, so this is a new experience for me using a mini PC, because I've never had one before, and that's awesome. And what we can do with that is, you know, we can play all those retro games that I just said, you know, like Sega Mega Drive games, Super Nintendo games, because Chrome is built into the Atari VCS. We can play these games through online emulators, so it's pretty cool, like, you know. And because of that, because of it's a mini PC, Stadia, Xbox Cloud Gaming is possible, Nvidia GeForce Now, Luna, so, and if it's also a streaming device. So if you like streaming stuff, like with Xbox Cloud Gaming, all the streaming apps. So if you like all these things, and if you've never had a PC of any sort, that's what it's geared towards. People like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much what the Atari VCS is and who it's for. You know what I'm saying? If it, like I said, if you're nostalgic for Atari, retro gaming, if you like streaming, if you like the idea of having a mini PC that you never had before, like myself, like, then that's who it's geared towards. So, who isn't it geared towards? Well, if you have a PC already, then there's no need to get the Atari VCS. So, it's not geared towards those people. People that don't have nostalgia for Atari or anything to do with Atari. It's not because they won't like it regardless, because they don't like Atari. That's who it's not geared towards. People that if people that have issues with frame rates and graphics, and who are impatient, if those sort of people, the Atari VCS won't appeal to those people, because waiting is part of the thing with the Atari VCS. Because it's not that powerful, you have to wait a little longer than you would on a high powered PC. So there's no benefit for a person that uses a high powered PC to get the Atari VCS. You know what I'm saying to you? Like I said, if and you just have to take into account that the certain games will run slowly, have bad controls. That's just the way it is. No, but because there's so many different online emulators, there's one that works better than the other. But like I said, if you're impatient and if you're picky about graphics and stuff like that, then the Atari VCS is not for you. So it's not geared towards those sort of people. You know, people that like mainstream gaming, like Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, like those sort of people that love their consoles, it's not geared to, the Atari VCS is not geared towards them either. Because on the Xbox Series X, you can do just pretty much the same thing that the Atari VCS can, which is emulate games and stuff like this. So so all those sort of people, it's not for those sort of people. So that's it in a nutshell. Like the Atari VCS, it does have a market, even though it's very small. It exists. Like myself, old people like myself that grew up with Atari, have nostalgia for Atari, and want to play retro games and have a mini PC experience. So that's what it's catered to. That's who it's for. All those other people I mentioned, people that have high powered PCs, Xbox Series X, PS5, people that are impatient, people that want the best all the time. The Atari VCS is not for those sort of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's it in a nutshell. Like a Gravatar Recharged, Asteroids Recharged, Centipede, all these games that Atari are bringing back out, this is for the nostalgia Atari crowd. And if you're not, like I said, if you're not a fan of Atari, then the Atari VCS just won't interest you. But the Atari VCS looks awesome, and it's supporting a company that pretty much started video games. So that's why I grew up with Atari. I have nostalgia for Atari, and that's who the Atari VCS is catered to. That's what it's for. So if you're not, then it's not for you. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. So I just want to make a quick video about that. That's who the Atari VCS is for and who it's not for. So like I said, if you're nostalgia for Atari retro games, streaming stuff, if you want to have a mini PC, then yeah, you know what I mean. But like I said, if you have a high powered PC or Xbox Series X or whatever, and you're impatient and you don't like waiting for things, and you just can't stand crap graphics or bad controls, and the Atari VCS is not for you. So, but like I said, most games run like butter on the Atari VCS, but there are a few games here and there that run slowly, have bad controls, but like it's on the whole, the Atari VCS is awesome, and hours and hours of fun are guaranteed, especially if you're a retro gamer, because there's so many online emulators, plus you have Antstream Arcade and the Atari VCS store itself, and Atari keep releasing games themselves and third-party developers or indie games. Then that's who it's for also. It's the Atari VCS is an extra option. But like I said, if you don't like waiting for things, if you don't like bad graphics, and if you're impatient, then the Atari VCS is not for you. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope this helps people. If people are trying to decide should I get an Atari VCS or not, well, I hope this helps. But one thing to take note of: if you are going to get an Atari VCS, keyboard and mouse is essential, especially if you're going to use Chrome to emulate games or do whatever you want to do, because the only way to use Chrome outside of a keyboard and mouse is the Atari VCS companion app, which you can't really use to play games, but you can navigate and type stuff in, but you can't play games on it. So you need a keyboard and mouse, because like most games, particularly MS-DOS games, you need a keyboard and mouse to play the games. And like I said, most console games like Sega Mega Drive and stuff, certain emulators won't detect or the Atari VCS controller, so you have to use the keyboard and mouse. But even with a keyboard and mouse, it's still an awesome experience, and it's not hard. At first, I didn't think I'd like a keyboard and mouse, but I've gotten used to it, and it's not that bad. And there's a wide range of wireless keyboards and mice out there for fairly cheap prices. The one I have is called a Joy-Con keyboard and mouse. Came together in the box together. They're wireless, they're rechargeable, and it comes with a USB receiver that plugs into the back of the Atari VCS, and it's awesome. And the battery life lasts a long time in the keyboard and mouse. So yeah, that's just one thing to keep note of. If you are going to get an Atari VCS, purchase a keyboard and mouse to get the most out of it. And if you really want to get the most out of it, gaming was upgrade the Atari VCS, with RAM and storage. But in my case, it's not necessary because I'm happy with what I have. 8 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage is plenty for the games that I want to play. So with that, we can play N64 games all the way back. But if I want to play Dreamcast games or PS2 games, I have to upgrade, but I don't want to. Because one, I don't want to pay to get the stuff. I don't want to risk damaging my Atari VCS by trying to put stuff in there. I'm not great with my hands, and I'm afraid it would mess something up. So I'm happy enough with what I have, and I can play all the recharge games, awesome, But also, another thing to take note of with the Atari VCS, even though it can output in 4K, it's not optimised for it. It runs the best at 1080p, which is still awesome. So I hope Atari optimise it for 4K. That's another thing I hope they do, but I don't think they will, because like I said, it's not the most powerful system in terms of specs, but it's good enough, for retro games, So as far as that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. It's a great system. It looks cool, and it's the first Atari system in decades, and it's doing well enough. I thought I didn't think it would be a failure like the Atari Jaguar, because when the Atari Jaguar came out, no one cared about it. Nobody was talking about the Jaguar. We went to the Virgin Megastore 1993 to get my Jaguar. I was expecting some sort of a queue of people. Nobody. I just walked up to the counter, asked the man, I want to buy the Atari Jaguar. He had none behind him on the shelf, so I was panicking. So Jesus, I hope they're not sold out. And he says, hold on, they're doing the store room, in like a stock room or something, because no one wants them. No one wanted them. Everyone wanted the Sega Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo. But at the time, also the Philips CDI and the 3DO were coming out, and no one went near the 700 quid for the 3DO, and pretty much the same price for a Philips CDI. But they were the 4 CD-based consoles, I believe, standalone consoles. They weren't like add-ons like the Mega CD or anything like that. But it's still way too expensive. And the Jaguar was $250 to $300. It cost more than a Mega Drive and a Super Nintendo. And all they got with it was Cybermorph and a controller, which a game that is not great, and it doesn't show off the 64 bits that the Jaguar was supposed to have. Does it have 64-bit graphics? No, not by what I see, but they say that technically the Jaguar is 64-bit because of the way it's designed or put together. It's hard to get the most out of the system. But even without that, people just gave up on Atari by that stage, unfortunately. They messed up with the Atari Lynx, didn't do well, the 7800. So no one cared about it, but I did. I was the only one, apparently, on that day. Went in and got it. The box looked awesome on the Jaguar, black box with Jaguar red lettering with 2 Jaguar eyes. I thought it looked awesome, but apart from when I got home, I was just unimpressed. I mean, the games were expensive and they were hard to find compared to Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo, which were everywhere and dirt cheaply, by comparison. And the Atari Jaguar controller was okay, but it had a big number pad, which was not necessary. But like I'm saying, the Atari VCS is the complete opposite of that. in my opinion. It's delivering on its promises, and it can do all these things. When the Jaguar came out, it was 64-bit multimedia system, but at the time all it could do was play cartridges. They didn't bring out the Atari Jaguar CD till 1995 when it was dead. So by 1995 it was a multimedia system. You can play music CDs and CD games on it, but it was terrible. So that's it. I hope that helps people that are trying to decide is the Atari VCS for me or not. So I hope that helps, and remember, just be patient and just put up with the odd game here and there that runs like garbage, and just wait, because it takes a while for stuff to load. But like I say, if you upgrade the Atari VCS, it'll run games better, load faster. You have proper emulators for it, whereas I'm just using online emulators to Chrome, and I just have to hope that the emulator runs good. But most of the time they do, but some don't. Some run like garbage, but still awesome in my opinion. So I hope that helps people, and remember, a keyboard and a mouse is necessary, I think. So that's it. I hope everyone has a good day, and I think it's great that the Atari VCS is back. Is out. It gives people an opportunity to experience an Atari console. First one in decades. So and they could talk to their dads, their granddads, like me, like my nephews talk to me, but because what was Atari like and stuff. I tell them, and they're amazed that it still exists. So there you go. So I hope everyone has a good day. Take care. Bye bye.